THQ.
Well, I really enjoyed working on Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick because it was a little bit of a trip down memory lane.
This is a game where, you know, we really wanted to try and capture the movement and the action and just the overall kind of over-the-top, overwhelming, you know, kind of action that, you know, you get in the movies.
Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick is very similar to the trilogy as far as the campy, tongue-in-cheek type of comedy.
Hey, how's that hole in your head feel?
We've really tried to capture the franchise, and we've really tried to capture the license. And like I said, you know, the campy horror, the humor that's involved, and then just the sheer action of the movies is, I think, translates well into the game.
So you're probably asking yourself how a handsome devil like me ended up in a place like this with you, right? It's a lot different from movies, obviously, because it's more controlled, but it's just as challenging because you're now involving the player in the plot of the story, so you have to accommodate that. Obviously, with games, you kind of control them. They can only go to so many areas, but what if someone just stood there going click, 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 eventually, so we'd record a line of like, there's nothing there, you know, get away from that door, step away from the window. Hello? Hello? Hey, wake up and smell the corpses.
I think Bruce is the special feature.
Oh, please.
There are so many Evil Dead fans out there, and the fact that Bruce is involved are going to make people, I think, want to go out and get this game. Bruce is a great guy.
That hack wouldn't know the real Necronomicon from a roll of extra fluffy two-ply.
Sam loves complaining about my performance after the fact. He goes, what were you thinking when you did that reaction? I'm like, where were you, eating a sandwich? You're on the set. If you didn't like it, I would have changed it. Dork.
He's really into the idea of, you know, continuing to be that action superhero, you know, and translating it into the games, I think, is really neat for him to see himself in a game and, you know, to really see the legacy of Evil Dead being, you know, passed on now through games.
This is just very entertaining, the fact that some cheeseball character from 1979 is running around on, you know, some guy's video shelf in 2003.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna bury her. You can't bury Shelley. She's a friend of ours.
If you really love the movies, then it's going to be kind of cool to play his part. And I'm glad that he's still willing to work with us on these games.
Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
I like the fact that people like these movies, so I'm happy to give him the next best thing. You know, Sam's making Spider-Man now. It might be a little tougher to get that Evil Dead 4 cranking out. So in the meantime, yeah, seriously, I'm really sincere when I say that this is the next best thing. You got the guy with the saw and the witty barbs, and he's running around with chainsaws, shotguns, and monsters.
To make a long story short, I was sent to hell and back, and then back again, and again.
The game is basically, it's complete action. It's a lot different than the games prior, Evil Dead game. If you're familiar with the games, there are deadites, which are basically corpses. There are that come to life, and you get about 30 that can attack you all at one time, and they'll just be all over, jumping through walls, coming out of windows, and you know, there's surprises like in every turn, every corner.
One of the things that people really got excited about with this game was dismemberment, you know. Being able to lop off somebody's arm is completely gratifying after a 16-hour day. I think that, you know, the combo moves, being able to impale somebody, being able to just see blood fly, that's what the fans are really looking for.
You know, just the cheeseball blood spattering, and just you go, ugh!
The weapons are actually probably my favorite. Ash is the type of guy that's going to go into a hardware store and he's going to look around for the nearest thing that he can kill a deadite with. Every weapon within the game is upgradable. If it's a flamethrower, for instance, there's different upgrades for the flamethrower. I would have to say that the Gatling gun is probably my favorite maximum destruction weapon.
The chainsaw is definitely the #1 thing that you use throughout the game, and it's going to be fun throughout the time.
And one of the coolest things in the game actually is you can lop off a deadite at the waist with the chainsaw, and they'll continue coming at you. They'll be crawling after you, with their arms, which is just great.
Chainsaw is going the entire time. That's something that Sam was always trying to make happen. Is the chainsaw was constantly puttering. In the film, we had to have tobacco being pumped through tubes up my leg and up my arms and into the chainsaw. So at the end of the day, when we took it out, I got these nicotine stains all the way down my whole body. So thank God for video games. That ash does not have to have a tube full of nicotine going up his butt.
We tried to really give the person who's playing this game enough control from a third-person standpoint to really see what was going on. Every animation is dictated through the targeting system. Ash can actually target over his shoulder, behind him, and all this is tied to the camera as well, too. So if he were to actually target and shoot over the shoulder, the camera follows the targeting system pretty well. The environments of the game are set up such that we have 3 environments that are centered around Dearborn, and they're in modern time. So we've centered different areas within Dearborn, and then we actually have 3 other environments that are set in historical areas. We've got a colonial environment and a Civil War environment, and then the final map on the game actually is a post-apocalyptic Dearborn. So this is the Deadites have been in control for a certain amount of time now, and they've just completely destroyed everything.
How did you know what Dearborn looked like during the Civil War? You obviously researched it, right?
We had a team of researchers.
Okay, good. It's from the Smithsonian? Okay.
It's kind of interesting to see the different clothing that the Deadites are wearing, and the different types of dialogue that they use. I think that's kind of cool, and I don't think you can use it for a history test, but I think that it's pretty fun to go back in time.
Go, Ash, go. See, he's on the prowl. I like that. He's a little hunched over when he's moving. Oh, who the hell are you, mister?
Pardon me, officer. I need to find some things belonging to a stiff. A guy called Nobi.
Let's see him kill somebody. Let's start killing people. Enough of this talk. Oh, is that disgusting? I like how that blood takes the motion of the saw when it slices them. See, I'm better when it's scripted that I live. That way there's nothing I can do to screw it up. As a real gamer, my life is on the line. I'm going to suck. But that's good. The average gamer would start. They would suck.
I think gamers who've never seen Evil Dead will definitely find something in it. If they like violence, if they like puzzle solving, if they like just having a bunch of enemies or on screen at once, I think they'll like it.
We've really given them as much of the gore and as much of the action, as much of the intensity of the movies as we had originally planned, and we really transferred a lot of that all the way through to the end. There's always the next game. I think everyone that works in production will admit that when they make a game, they see things that they would just love to throw into the next game. There's a lot of ideas floating around, and I think once we do have time to actually sit down and catch our breaths and get back to the drawing table, that there's a lot of extras that we would like to see go into the next one. We really just want to keep taking it to the next level. We really want to keep improving and really giving the gamers out there as much value as we can.
Oh! Good. See, now that's smart. It's a shotgun over the shoulder routine. With a little flip in there. Yeah, now you're talking. Little finesse. They've got the ash. They've got the essence of ash. Little flip, little gunshot, little chainsaw, and away you go. Everyone goes home happy.